Hello and welcome to Photo 130. I'm your instructor, Cassandra Coop. We are currently going into week 1. You see that currently what we have up on the page is the new section of D2L. This is the space that you want to access when it comes to finding the information we'll be going through on that week. Currently, what I have posted out here is just some basic information. We have our Stout Photo.video YouTube channel, the Widen Collective website, which we'll get into in a little bit, as well as the VPN connection link. Going right into the commonplace order for the first week of class, I'm going to take a look at the syllabus. I'm not going to cover everything in here, but just kind of give you the highlights. So you open this up. You see over here in your section, you'll be filling out your section. If we pop down here a little bit further, you guys are section 930C, being that you're online. So go ahead and make a mental note of that, or if you print off of these documents, print that on there. That'll become important later when you go to do your uploads. Out here I also have the live links for the Widen Collective website. Again, the area we'll be posting our final projects, and we'll get into that later. Our YouTube channel, which I think is pretty interesting. We have, I believe, 18 videos posted out there specific to this class and the projects that we're going to be completing. Looking at this, again, my name is Cassandra Coop. I'm your instructor for Photo 130, the online sections. I do have an office on campus if you care to visit, or if you're in the area. I do not currently have office hours posted just yet this semester. I'll have those out shortly. Being that this is an online section, ideally to reach me, you would be contacting me via email. I also have a cell and office phone listed. Preferable would be my cell phone. I am typically right near my office teaching in the class next door. But if you want to reach me by cell phone, just identify yourself first, even as via text, and then I will answer those as long as they're in reasonable hours of the day. Otherwise, relatively prompt, or try to be pretty prompt within a 24-hour turnaround when it comes to email and or text. So diving right into some information, again, I'm not going to go through the entire syllabus to give you the highlights, and I'll let you read through the rest of it at your own leisure. Talk about the equipment that's required for this class. It would be a DSLR camera with full manual control in still and video capture modes. That is really important. There's a big difference in between the DSLR cameras as well as compared to the point and shoot, drone cameras, GoPros, iPhones. This is the only acceptable format that they can be shot in, is a DSLR camera with full manual control. Additional required equipment would be a Class 10 SD card. Most SD cards sold nowadays are Class 10. If you're wondering whether or not the one that you've purchased is, take a look at it. On the front should be a number 10, almost completely encircled with again, a small circle with an arrow at the end, and that'll indicate that it is appropriate for shooting video when it comes to that second half of the semester. Not written down here, not technically required equipment, but highly suggested by myself, is a decent tripod for use during the semester, and or possibly some filters for the ends of your lenses as well. But that is, again, absolutely optional, but I do believe extremely helpful as we go throughout the course. If you do happen to live in the area, our library at UW Stout has cameras on hand for checkout. They are available to all students, however, not just photo students. So currently, I think there's about 76 if you'd like to stop down and take a look at them. They're available for week-long checkouts, but give them a call and see what's available. They do have a high amount of stuff available on hand, and all of it is suitable for this class as well as the upper level classes. Not listed in the required equipment and or software in the course description, but required to meet the photo minor and curriculum, is the use of Adobe Premiere and Adobe Photoshop. Those will be required software, again, for this class. Make sure you can get access to those for your projects, as we have right here, Adobe Premiere and Adobe Photoshop. Scrolling down a little bit further, looking at proposed objectives. See, we have a list of 7 here. Again, I'll let you read through these, and I'll give you some of the highlights. Looking at utilizing camera controls for both your photos and your videos that you'll be creating. The pre-visualization and creation of still and moving images basically means the pre-planning. This is not necessarily a class to take snapshots in. Pre-planning your projects that you will be working on and how they look and what sort of message you're trying to send. Evaluation of those still and moving images using aesthetic and technical criteria. Again, evaluation of the content within that media. And last but not least, looking at demonstrating procedures for resource management, archiving, and distributing still and moving images. This is proper resource management and file saving and storage. I'm going to scroll a little bit further through some of this area, looking at the proposed course outline and what items are going to be covered. Again, take a look at this and we'll start to get through some of this information when we go to the calendar. Looking at teaching methods, there's going to be a variety of different methods, including lectures, which of course will be recorded online, electronic demonstrations, presentations. We don't have any reading assignments at this current time, project assignments, and critiques. Before we take a look at the assessment and grading, I think I'll scroll down into what actual projects that you'll have. So again, this class is split into 50% photo and 50% video. So for photo, you see that we have 5 photo projects, each were 10 points apiece. Into video, we have 5 video projects. The first 4 were 10 points, and the larger, more collaborative one for the narrative is worth 20. Additionally, you see exercises. Again, these are building blocks to ensuring you have the skills to create quality end projects. Those are worth 5 points each, and you see they're designated whether they are photo or video. Down below, we have quizzes. These will be completed online in D2L. You see there's a midterm as well as a final. And then our final project, which is a Principles of Design project. And again, that is a photo and video combination that you'll be putting together. And for each of these projects, there'll be a specific rubric with information on the objectives and what is required to meet them. Your project grades will be completed going through a critique. You see, we're talking about the critique, we're looking at the analysis, synthesis, and evaluation of a project. This will be done online in small groups, and we'll be taking a look at that once we get a little bit closer to having the first project submitted. A little bit further into assessment and grading, you see that there is some fine print in here, and it'll become not so fine print a little further down. Talking about meeting assignment deadlines. I think this is the important takeaway when it comes to this. There are no points awarded for late assignments. However, projects turned in on time, they may be revised and resubmitted for evaluation within 2 weeks of the original due date. What that means is if you completed a project and it wasn't your best work, you have the availability to complete a new project for resubmission of a new grade. But that can only be done if something was handed in to begin with. Additionally, if we're looking through here, the other secondary very important part is that they must be taken with manual controls and in the correct format. So if projects are taken on auto or in the incorrect format, let's say a JPEG image, those will have to be resubmitted for a new grade. Additionally, projects taken with cameras that are not suitable for this course will not be accepted for credit. Being that this is an online course, I believe we can more or less skip over the technology use in the classroom and kind of delve into the academic misconduct policy. You guys are all aware of how this typically works. I just want to make sure, when you're handing in stuff, as long as it's your own work, I don't think we'll have to really cover anything that goes within here. Additionally, all projects that are handed in need to be created during the start and stop time of this course. So being that we are in the spring of 2018, photos taken, for example, in October of 2017 are not eligible for submission for a project. Okay, and I'm just going to close out of our syllabus. Again, I highly recommend printing this off so you can take a look at it in its entirety at your own leisure. I'm going to close that down, and then the next thing I'm going to open, I do have posted out here a calendar. And I know that we are in the online version. We have postings. I do try and make those out there more than once a week, but this gives you an idea of how the on-campuses time is split up and how it may be helpful to manage your own time when we're looking at the information that you'll be going over. So you see that I have these separated over on the left in weeks and the actual dates that those fall in, and then the information that we'll be covering. Projects are in red, the exercises to be completed are in green, and in blue are the exams that we have out on D2L. This schedule is always subject to change with additional information to be added. You can see that there are some items out here listed as open lab, since this is a lab course and the on-campus classes have lab time available. On campus, we meet 2 hours a class period twice a week. So kind of calculate that for yourselves as well, along with about 2 hours additionally outside of class. Okay, so we are back in D2L. You see that we have back open to the news section. I'm going to pop into the content area really quick. And again, once we have documents posted out into the news section, I'm also going to be posting them into the content section. Right now, you see that there's essential documents. I have the syllabus as well as the calendar posted. Further out in the discussions areas, take a look at down here. We have I have a couple separated areas for different makes and models and what you'll be using throughout the semester. So if you're a Canon user, please put your information out here for which make and model camera you'll be using. Nikon users and other camera makes and models follow the same suit. I think this will be really helpful when it comes to completing particular objectives, because we have 25 individual users in this class and quite possibly 25 different cameras. If you have something that's similar, let's say I have a Canon SL1 and I don't know how to get my shutter speed function to particularly work, put a posting out here and someone else with the same make and model can help me out and figure out how to correctly do that. So once you get to this point and hop onto D2L this week, put your information out here, introduce yourself, and then it follows into the category as to which camera you plan on using throughout the duration of the course. So going into the Dropbox, you see there's some stuff out here already. This would be when we going in to do the exercises for the projects that you saw on the grade list. And again, these are the projects that we'll be doing in advance of having the final project due. Popping over into the grade section, I do try and keep this as updated as possible as we're going through. Typically, hopefully within a week of having a project submitted, I can have a grade posted out here for you guys so you can keep track of where you're at. You won't have this viewing. You see, here's all your classmates' names separated in between photo projects, video projects, exams, and as it goes on through here, exercises. So that was the grade section. Quiz section, again, this is where your quizzes will be held. We have that midterm and that final exam that are posted out here. Okay, so now that you've seen the syllabus as well as the calendar for this class, you see that this is a high participation course, something that is really, really important to the success of your learning as well as your projects. It is not a self-paced course, but something that's important to keep up on the projects as well as the small things that are due each week as we're going through. Again, I think it's really helpful if you can mark these down on your own calendars as to when things are due and when things are coming up. I think this is enough for the first video as well as information. Again, make sure you print this off when it comes to the calendar and the syllabus. I do believe that's helpful. Coming up in the next couple videos, we'll be talking about the introduction project, the discussion of the website, walk you through the initial login of the website, an introduction to our YouTube channel, and then a short critique form discussion.